And we're back with another episode of Successful Marketing, Sales, and Relationships for Adult Owners and Entrepreneurs. I am your host, best-selling author SaDon Long, and it's the end of the month. And at the end of the month, what we usually like to do is we like to review. The reason you want to review is so you know exactly where you are. And in knowing where you are, it gives you opportunity to do three things. It gives you an opportunity to celebrate, gives you an opportunity to appreciate, and it also gives you an opportunity to adjust. You know, so at the end of the month, you need to know exactly where you are. Hey, was this a good month? You know, did we reach our sales goals? Did we add new clients? You know, was this a bad month? Did we not reach our sales goals? Did we not add new clients? You know, did we lose money? Did we gain money? You know, and for a lot of us who are going from working a 9 to 5 to being entrepreneurs and having a business, we really don't pay a lot of attention to our profit and loss. Because at home, typically what you do is you just pay the bill. Okay, my cell phone bills, do I just pay it? You know, but as a business owner, you really need to be looking at the cost and why the cost is what it is. You One of the things that I learned, being a store manager, being a department manager, was payroll. And when I was working, I never really paid attention to payroll. I never paid attention to who was on the clock, who was off the clock, and never was paying attention to people's breaks. But at the end of the month, when you had to sit down and somebody pull out the payroll report and the percentages, and you start realizing, man, this person was late 4 or 5 times. But because you were working, you didn't notice that they hadn't gotten to work yet. Man, this person, they keep staying over 10, 15 minutes. Hey, this person never takes a break. This person not punching out for lunches. Okay. Now, your business might be set up a little bit different than that. I get it. But the idea is that these are people who are stealing money. And if they'll steal money by milking the clock or playing, payroll games, then they'll probably steal merchandise. Then they'll probably underperform. Then they'll probably do other things that are hurting your business. So now, as a small business owner, that extra $300, $400 that you may have to pay in payroll might be a problem. You know, that underperforming person that you keeping on the clock thinking that they got work to do when really they just working real slow so they can stay on the clock could be causing you a problem. So if you didn't have the best month that you thought you would have, if you didn't have the success that you thought you'd have, or if you thought you'd have more success, it might be the people. So now when you're looking at the people, you're looking and saying, okay, let me make sure that I'm getting the most out of each person that I invest in. Not that you pay, that you invest in. Okay. See, as a business owner, every person you hire is an investment. Now, the return on that investment is the work that they give you for their pay. The items they sell, the problems they solve, the the amount of trust that you can have in them, because the more you can trust them, the more you get to do other things. If I can trust you to sell on the sales floor, then maybe I can run to the bank. If I can trust you not to steal out the register, then maybe I could go and take a meeting about getting more business. You see it a lot of times with people who own retail stores, but it's really prevalent in every form of business that has a person attached to it. Because if you're at the daycare and you got daycare employees who aren't doing a good job, they costing you money. You know, and if they're costing you money, that means they're costing you your ability and your ability to provide for your family, your ability to be free, your ability to be the best version of you. So now they run off customers, and now people don't re-up with you, or now, people have complaints, that now you have to deal with, taking your focus, your energy, and your peace. It's all people related. You know, so at the end of the month, hey man, let's start to look at our goals and how our people either helped us or hurt us. You know, did our people, number one, did they do what they were supposed to do? Number two, how well did they do it? Number three, did they do it without being told? You know, so once you start realizing, okay, here's how I gauge an employee, you'll be better served to now keep employees, because now instead of just paying people to stand around and lean, you'll be paying people who can actually produce. You know, number two, when it starts talking about, reviewing the month, hey, you got to review your own personal performance, because a lot of us are solopreneurs. A lot of us are coaches and advisors and caterers and things of that nature, and we're doing a lot of the work ourselves. So now you have to review your performance on this one area in particular, and I think this is really an area where we struggle, you know, and that's trying to get sales and do business at the same time. So if you're constantly working in the business, i.e., you're cooking the food for your catering company, i.e., you're taking meetings and coaching and advising and drawing up curriculums and doing all these things, who's reaching out to customers? Who's reaching out to the customers? Who's recruiting new customers? Who's making sure customers are being retained? Who's re-recruiting customers? Who's re-closing customers? Who's keeping customers happy if you're working in your business? So, client calling, but you got 3 other clients that you're trying to do stuff for. Now they just get frustrated and leave you. That happens a lot. So if you don't have employees, then you got to check yourself. And you're like, well, man, maybe I'm too busy. Okay, now being too busy doing business is not a bad thing, but even when you're too busy doing business, you still have to make time to get new business. This is something I struggle with myself. I'll have clients, I'll be working, I'll be burned out, and I won't be shooting content. I'll be burned out, I won't be doing podcasts. I'll be burned out, I won't be sending out emails and circling back to people that I need to do business with. And then you look up one day and you're like, oh wow, man, contract ended, or client decided to go in another direction, and now you're without clients. So even when you're working in the business, you still have to be in charge of making sure that your pipeline has new business in it. You have a good month. As a matter of fact, let's talk about that. Here's the cycle that most business owners are on. I don't have any business. I do everything I need to do, hustle up to get business. Then once I have said business, then I relax and I stop doing the things that I need to do to get business. And you know what? Now I'm back without any business. So it's this roller coaster of up and down. But if you're consistent in getting good clients, if you're consistent in making sure your clients are happy, and you consistently make time to prospect, make time to follow up, make time to shoot content, then you'll keep your pipeline open. Okay. Now let's talk about that content thing. Okay. Content does 2 things. One, it gives you access to people who do not know you through a third-party introduction from the platform. What do I mean? I mean that by putting your stuff on a platform, people who might be interested in it will get to see you through suggested content. However, if you're not putting out enough content, then the algorithm will not pick you up and introduce you to other people who might want to give you money. So that's the first thing. So by not putting out content, what you're doing is you're capping the amount of new business you can do. Number 2, content gives you the opportunity to now get better as a communicator. Had a conversation one time, and the client was like, well, man, what's your formula for shooting content? How do you make it so that it seems so seamless and fluid? And don't get me wrong, sometimes I'm literally just turning on the mic and running my mouth. And then turning on the mic and running my mouth, I get better. Because the more times you do it, the more times you talk about it, the more conversations you have about it, the better communicator you become. So if you did content, if you went live, if you shot videos, and you did it for months on end, and you just imitated other people, if you use a voice and you said, hey, I'm going to use that voice that they're using so I sound more professional like them, eventually you get better at that voice. If you said, hey, have you ever wondered about, eventually you get better at it. So the other thing is that over time, the content that you put out gets better just simply because you're doing it. And your thought process gets better because now you're talking about it, you're focusing on it, and it's top of mind. And you're not just doing a bunch of work. So not only does it make you a better communicator, it also gives you an opportunity to get new customers because of the third-party introduction. So now I got people who do not know me who are tuning in to learn things that I could teach them, and I'm getting better at teaching the thing that I'm supposed to teach them, which reaches a tipping point, a point where at their curiosity level and their situation becoming dire enough, then they give you money. Which leads me to the third thing. When people are not commenting on your content, when people are not sharing your content, when people are not engaging with your content, it does not mean that they are not aware of your content. It just simply means that at this particular time, they don't really need it. But they're aware of it and it's in the back of their mind. So even if you get the third-party introduction and nothing happens, do understand. Problems are like seasons. They all come at some point. Summer's going to come no matter what you do. Same thing with the business owner. We're at the end of the month. We're talking end of the month sales. So maybe somebody at the beginning of the month was like, yeah, I'm good. But then the month crashed because we talked about that cycle. Did you do the thing to get the sale? Once you get the sales, you relax, and then you end up right back where you started because you stopped doing the thing that you need to do to get the sales. So maybe at the beginning of the month, they didn't need you. Maybe at the end of the month, they had a good month. Now they can afford you. Maybe they ran out of tax money or PPP money. Now they can afford you. Maybe they got their tax money and now they can't afford you. So you have to keep creating content. You have to keep reaching out. You have to keep circling back because at some point, they're going to need you. And when they do need you, you need to be ready. You need to be locked in. You need to be ready to work. You need to know what next steps are so that you can close that client. Which is one of the reasons, quite honestly, most people fail when it comes to content marketing. Because they think that everybody that they're talking to isn't paying attention. But really, those people are paying attention. It's just not time yet. So here's how problems work. Problem arises. You then avoid problem. Then you think about problem. Then you decide to start looking for a reason or a place or a purpose or a solution to problem. Then you think about whether or not you should use that solution or another solution. Now notice, all of this stuff is happening before you make a decision. Then you try something that doesn't work, and then eventually you go to the thing that you knew you should have went to in the first place. It's like getting a tire. The tire got a slow leak in it. First thing you do, put some air in it. Next thing you do, you take it by the tire shop, see if they can patch it up. Okay. So now, if the patching up doesn't work and the fix-a-flat didn't work and the air in it didn't work, then you're like, ooh, I think I need to buy a tire. I have no other choice. Yeah. But the whole time, that tire barn or whatever company that sells tires, they've been running sales papers, they've been running commercials, they've been sending you coupons in the mail, they've been doing everything under the sun to get you to come into that store. But until you tried to fix a flat, tried to air, tried to get it patched up, and none of those things have worked, you weren't coming anywhere near Tire Barn or anything else. So same thing works for whatever business. If you're a coach, you know, the people that you communicate with, they might be trying other solutions right now. You know, they might be trying Ozempic. If you're a weight loss, if you're a trainer, okay, so they might be trying Ozempic or Magoovi or any of these other shots. See if that works. You know, they might be trying restricted, fasting or restricted eating. But eventually they realize, hey man, I can't do this by myself. I must hire a trainer. So now your job is to stay consistent month in, month out, so that when the time comes, you can get the client. Matter of fact, you might get 5 or 6 or 7 people all at one time just because you stayed faithful to consistently posting, consistently building your reputation, consistently getting results. But at the same time, there's a whole bunch of other people who do know you and know of you, who you could be also working. So yeah, we talked about the content, but some of that content needs to be created for people who already know you in the form of an email, in the form of a text message, in the form of a DM. Just simply saying, hey, summer's coming. I know a lot of people are trying to lose weight, for weddings, for graduations, for vacations. Right now, here's what we're doing. We've created a 6-week boot camp that's going to help these people achieve these kinds of goals. So if you know anybody, please, I repeat, if you know anybody, please refer them to me. And if you refer them to me, tell them I'll give them an additional, whatever your sweetener is, a discount or additional day or a one-on-one consult or, some type of nutrition menu or something. So now if you put that out to all the people who know and know of you, maybe some more customers come in. But you don't know what you need to ramp up or increase or decrease or what's working and what's not working if you never sit down and review. Which is why we're having this conversation today, because we should be reviewing. Was this a good month? Did I do the things necessary to make this a good month? Okay. What did I not do that would have made it a better month? If I would have leaned in more over here and maybe made a few more calls instead of 5 or 6 sales, could I have gotten 7 or 8? How many customers did I lose this month? Did I circle back to those customers? Do I want to circle back to those customers? Because sometimes you lose somebody and you happy you lost them. But all of these things are important because you can't adjust something that you aren't paying attention to. You can't improve something until you know where it is. The same way you get on a scale to know what you weigh, it's the same way you need to look at your P&L. It's the same way you need to look at your productivity. The same way you need to look at your prospecting and customer acquisition strategies. Because that's what makes you a real business owner. Knowing where you are profit and loss year to date. Knowing whether or not your systems are working or not working. So that you can then make the adjustments. Again, we're at the end of another month. We're at the end of another quarter. Okay. What did you do with the leads you had this month? Had 4 or 5 people. Did you close them? Did you not close them? If you didn't close them, why? What did they say? Were they just shopping? And if they were just shopping, did I ask in advance, or did I do a whole doggone proposal for somebody who was only going to say, yeah, but we got to look a few more places? Because if they were just shopping and you didn't ask what their time frame was, when were they looking to start, and you didn't have a real conversation to figure out exactly how urgent of a need their need was, now you wasted valuable time that you could have actually been spending either A, creating, or B, trying to figure out who you needed to be in a conversation with, or who knew somebody you need to be in a conversation with. You know, you need to go back if you want to be successful. Let's just keep it a buck. If you don't, if it doesn't matter to you, then it is what it is. But if you're really trying to get good enough to do this full time, to do this well enough that it feeds your family, to do this well enough that it pays you better than a good ass job, so that you get all the benefits of the money that's coming in, plus have freedom because you've hired good people, then you need to look at how you're closing. Because a lot of times this is what will happen. We'll take the meeting and we'll start selling. Well, we could do this for you, we could do that for you, and we could do this for you, and then we could do that for you, and then we could do this for you, and then we do this, and we do that, and we could do this. Without ever really saying, okay, tell me why you are here. Tell me why you're in this meeting with me. Tell me why you're sitting across from me. What is it is on your mind? Same thing in everything. The more you understand what the other person wants, the easier it is for you to build a plan or apply a plan or a system that you already have to help them get what they want. One of the things I always do when I sit across from a client is tell me what your financial goals are. And I know you're like, but he's a marketing guy. Why would a marketing guy care about my financial goals? Because the reality is that you want marketing that leads to sales. So if I don't know what type of sales you're trying to get, I don't know what type of plan to put together. That's use social media. Okay, use social media to do what? Use social media to get new customers? Okay, well, let's look at the customers you already have and what we're doing with them. Are we getting referrals from them? Are we creating another program for them to buy since they already know, like, and trust us? Or are we just constantly focusing on trying to get new people in and never trying to keep the people that we have buying longer? Never allowing the people that we have to then pull in other customers by elevating and celebrating them. See, if you got a customer that you did great work for, man, do a Zoom with them. Elevate and celebrate them. Go over there, take some pictures with them. That's what they do at the car lot. As soon as they buy the car, they take the picture of the person holding the keys, standing next to the car. Why? So that somebody who looks like them could say, look cool. I think I'm going to get a car. But if you're constantly selling without knowing what you're trying to accomplish, how do you accomplish it? It's like sitting down with somebody and saying you want to lose weight. They need to know how much weight you want to lose and how fast you need to lose it and what you're trying to lose it for. Because losing it to try to get into a wedding dress is completely different than losing it because you have diabetes. So again, you need to review your month, even if it's a side hustle. Okay? Because if you need a side hustle that's going to get you an extra $300-400 a month, have you put together a plan that works well enough to get you $300-400? Okay, I sell something for $50. Let's look at the math. Okay, I need $300-400 a month. I sell something that's $50. That means that I need 6 to 8 sales. Okay, so if I call 40 people that I know and ask 40 people if they know anybody who's interested in the thing that I do, how many of those people know somebody that they would then tell to call me? I only need 8, but I called 40 people. Now maybe only 20 of those people told me about somebody or told somebody about me. So now I got 20 opportunities to get 8 sales. But of those 8, let's just say I get 7. But I've asked every one of those 7 if they know somebody. So now those 7 give me 3. So now instead of 8, I got 10. So not only did I reach my goal, I exceeded it by 2. So now once I do whatever the thing is that I do with these people and they're successful, I take all 10 of those people and I celebrate them. I thank them. I publicly exalt them, raise them up, praise them. so that other people can then see my good work. And now they'll help me get more customers because they're happy with their result. You make something beautiful for somebody's house, for example. You say, hey, man, look at this beautiful thing I did for them. I just want to thank them for trusting in me. I believe, that this was a God sent opportunity, and I'm just grateful for it. I really appreciate you. Now, that person is going to share that thing with everybody they know. Girl, look, somebody's saying how great I am. Girl, look, somebody's showing off my house. Girl, look, somebody's showing off me. Which is then going to draw other people in. It's no different than when you get a boyfriend and he takes you out on dates. Now, you show people that you're on dates, and every time you show somebody on date, somebody that you're on a date, there's a woman in the background going, he cute. I think I need him for myself. It's promo. That's why grandma said don't tell your business. Because if you tell your business, then somebody's going to want to be in business with the person that you are in business with. But if we're talking about side hustles and entrepreneurship and ownership and small business ownership, then you definitely need to tell your business and the people that you are in business with so that other people want to be in business with you. But again, you got to go back and look at the month and say, did I do a good job of doing the thing that I know I need to do in order to make the money that I want to make? Because typically what tends to happen, and this is beyond a shadow of a doubt, people don't do what they're supposed to do, and then they get mad. They feel ashamed. They get embarrassed because just like your customers' problems are going to come in cycles, so are yours. They usually come about every 30 days. Every 30 days, car note, cell phone, cable, heat, car note, car insurance, health insurance, credit card bills, all that stuff comes in cycles. So if you get it all paid off, cool, you get to live a month. But it's coming again. So if you don't do what you're supposed to do as a small business owner, now you put yourself in jeopardy. Now you put yourself in a position where you got to do things that you might not want to do. A lot of times we talk about evil. And, my perspective on evil is that evil needs a partner. So if you never put yourself in a position to have to make these difficult decisions, then you never have to worry about what evil is doing. And you might say, well, stuff happens. Yeah, but we know stuff is going to happen. So that's why, biblically it says, consider the ant who has no ruler nor king, yet gathers in the summer for the winter. The ant knew in the summer, hey man, winter's coming. I got to stock up. When you're putting together your business plan, when you're putting together your sales plan and your marketing plan, hey, there are going to be times when I don't have sales. So what is the game plan in advance for when we don't have sales? Okay, well, we need to charge a certain price so that when we do get a sale, it helps float us for the times that we don't. We need to make sure that we take special care of our consistent customers because they're going to help get us through the tough times when our new customers or not as dedicated customers aren't available. Again, if you get big sales, get as many big sales as you can. Keep the people who give you big money going because there are going to be times when you got to lower your price. But if you got big sales, that's going to cover you. But if you let your big clients waste away in the wind because you're too busy chasing after small fries or small fish or being distracted or getting into, celebrating instead of staying on task, then you put yourself in a position where now you got to take a bad loan. Had a client one time and, you would have thought, man, everything was running smooth. But the reality was, it wasn't. She was spending a lot of money on payroll. So she takes this bad loan to cover payroll. When in reality, she should have been looking at the people she was paying. Like, why am I continuing to pay people that aren't getting me the results that they promised me they could get? So now you feel bad, you paying them, but you also got to pay back this loan that's due every first of the month. But the people who are supposed to help you get it aren't helping you. So now you going in your savings. Now you doing all of this other stuff to try to pay off a loan that you probably shouldn't have taken out in the first place. You should have just sat your people down and said, hey, some of y'all got to go because y'all not pulling y'all weight. And when you're a new business owner, you're a business owner that doesn't come from that side of the fence, where you got to fire people and feel no remorse for doing it, that can be hard. But when an advisor sits down with you and they say, hey, let's go over your people. I'll give you one more example. Sat down with a client one time. We were talking about it. She was telling me what was going on with her people. And I was like, man, why are you in an abusive relationship with your employees? She was like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, you're allowing your employees to do things to you that you wouldn't allow no man to do. No man could treat you like this. So why can your employees? So if your employees are treating you this way, why do you think they're going to do everything they can to make sure your business runs smoothly? Why do you think that they're going to be making sure that every T is crossed and every I is dotted? They're not. If they're not working for you, they're stealing from you. And you're like, well, you're being too harsh. Am I though? Am I really being too harsh? Okay. If a man was stealing from you and a man was lying to you and a man was cheating you, you gotta leave him, girl. No, but your homegirl, playing with the payroll clock, not taking her lunches, not taking her breaks, putting in that she left at 5:30 when she really left at 5. But yet you don't fire her. Y'all coming up short on the register, but you don't fire her. But if your purse was a little light, you'd be looking at your man like, you been in my purse? Right. This is about your legacy. This is about your family. This is about your financial security. This is about the people who count on you that you can't tell no. When your kid needs something, you can't tell him no. He done broke his arm. Now you what? Oh, well, hey, man, just got to suck it up. We ain't got no health insurance. Really? Your mama, she on fixed income, she on Social Security. She needs some additional funds because, it's the wintertime and the gas bill's a little bit higher. What you gonna tell her? Hey, go sit down there at Township. Or you gonna write a check. But that money has to come from somewhere. So if you got to take care of kids, take care of mamas, take care of yourself, hell, in some cases, take care of nieces and nephews and little brothers or little sisters, you can't afford to have people stealing from you. You can't afford to have people at work each and every day sucking up your money and giving you nothing in return. So we have to look at these things. Are these people doing what I told them to do to the best of their ability? And if the best of their ability ain't good enough, then they gotta go. And one more thing. You gotta keep the feeling out of it. Because sometimes you can feel like you're doing bad and you actually doing pretty good. Sometimes you can feel like you're doing good and you're actually doing pretty bad. Sometimes, again, we confuse business with friendship, and it'll feel like we're doing business when in reality we just being friends with the customer. They not paying us on time. They not keeping their word with us. But we having a real great conversation. We having real great meetings, and ain't not a doggone thing getting done. So with that being said, you have to go back and review. Same thing in a relationship. Don't let the love make you forget the business. You know, you love this person, but they always late on their half of the rent. You love this person, but they always a little short on the bills. You love this person, but they never supporting you and keeping you in a state of peace that they promised they would keep you in. But if all you're doing is running around going, oh, this is such a wonderful, beautiful thing, and you never really looking at it, you'll find out that they ain't paid the mortgage in months. You'll find out that some of your stuff about to get cut off. You'll find out that you're being taken advantage of and you didn't even know it. So again, you have to be reviewing, be diligent, looking at the facts. Yes, this person is cute. Yes, this person is fine. Yes, this person is good in bed. But they always broke and they borrowing money from me that they never pay back. They're always making excuses as to why they can't do something that they promise they do. Again, this is marketing, sales, and relationships, because people, doing business with people is a relationship. And if you're in an abusive relationship in business, it's no different than being in an abusive relationship at home. It hurts. It hurts when people play in your face and then steal your money. It hurts when people play in your face and leave things undone. Now, instead of you getting more jobs, you get less jobs. And if you get less jobs, that means you have less of an ability to pay your bills and to pay good people. So one homegirl or homeboy or somebody that seems like a friend to you could sink your whole operation, could steal millions of dollars, could set you back years. But if you're never looking at your books and you're never looking at your progress and you're never looking at what's supposed to be happening, how do you know what's happening? You too busy running to A and then running to B and then running to C. Hey, I got to go over here and see these people. I got to go see these people. I got to talk to these people about this. I got to make sure we get this done. Whole time that person's stealing from you. Whether it's with lack of effort, whether it's with playing on the time clock, whether it's straight out the register. You think y'all cool? That's my sister girl. And then you look up and she done took the company credit card and got reckless with the swiping. You're like, well, why did you buy that? Oh, girl, well, I just thought we needed it. Well, no, we don't need that. This is a tight month. We can't be buying stuff just because you thought we needed it. We can't be over Ubering just because you thought that was the best way to go. We don't need to spend that much money on lunches for clients. So you have to look at all of that stuff very closely, because this is your legacy. This is the way you protect your family from poverty. This is the way you buy property. This is the way you take care of yourself, take your vacations. This is the thing that you're going to use to leave an inheritance to your children's children. And if you don't make sure it's in tip-top shape, who will? End of the month, man. Just having a conversation. Just checking in, making sure that, we all on point, because I know how important this really is. They talk about businesses failing, but businesses typically only fail because of 3 reasons. Either it was people, processes, or profits. If you didn't have good people, you're probably going to fail. If you didn't have a good process for getting customers and keeping customers longer, and then getting referrals from those customers, it's going to be real hard on you. And profits. Hey, man, if you can't charge enough to make a good enough margin so that you don't constantly have to keep taking bad customers, and you can fire some bad customers because now you got a couple good customers that'll float you over till you get some more good customers, probably going to be very hard for you. One thing I'm going to continue to say, and I promise you I'm going to keep saying it, that website need to be a salesperson. Those emails need to be a salesperson. Those flyers need to be a salesperson. Social media needs to be a recruiter. Because none of those people need benefits. None of those people ever call off, and all those people can work 24 hours a day. So I need to be using my social media to recruit new people. I need to be using my website and my email marketing to close people that know me and know of me. You know, and then with that being said, I need to get better at closing the people that those two can't close. So those are the four pillars right there. I need to be able to get new customers, which is why I need to be able to keep this content going, and I need to post content that my customers actually need to hear and want to hear and are looking to hear. You know, questions they have, things that they're asking in their mind, like, man, I wonder what's the best way to. That's what you need to do. And then if you get that website, boom, they go over there. It answers all their questions. You know, there's a formula. I'm not gonna get into it right now, but you can go over to growingrich.com, click the button, and we can have a call about it. Definitely. But it goes to the website. The website closes them. They know exactly what we do, what the benefit of doing it with us is, how to buy. Boom. If they don't buy right then, they at least, give us their contact information so we can follow up with them. And when they aren't in need, when that cycle turns toward the problem that you solve, whether it's the end of the month, end of the quarter, end of the summer, depending on what you do. If you do landscaping, man, things done turned. And now it's time for you to get to it and do it. But now I got those contacts, and my email marketing then comes in, and now they sell. But I'm not having to sell because the emails are selling and the website's selling. So now we get over to like, okay, now nobody's bought from those two. Now I got to personally step in. So when I personally step in, am I able to close? Or am I going to be so busy running my mouth that I'm not going to figure out what their goals and objectives are? Again, first thing I want to know when I sit down with a client, as quote unquote a marketing person, is what are your financial goals? So we could create a plan that gets you to where you're trying to get to. Because the only way you're going to be happy with me is if I meet and or help you exceed the goal you have for yourself. So I'm not here to talk about me. I'm here to talk about you and how to figure out how I can help you, how to figure out how I can help the website become a salesperson, how I can help the emails become a salesperson, how I can help social media become a recruiter. How and then at the end of all that, I can help you close whatever customers are left over. Why? Because if we get all four of those things right, then you will have met your financial goal. Like I said in the beginning, if we're trying to get 300 or 400, that means that we need 6 to 8 sales if the product's $50. So now, how do we attack all the people that could get us an opportunity to get a sale? The people that know us, people that know of us, let's get them. Here's how we get them. People that don't know us at all, cool. Here's what we need to be saying to them to get them on our side as well. But with all those things being said, at the end of the day, we still need to go back and see if they're working. And if they're not working, we need to assess and adjust. Where could we have done better? Where could we have done more? Where are our opportunities at? Oh, we got an opportunity right here, man. We got 5 or 6 people that we never even called. Hey, let's get them on the phone right now. It's that simple. So, again, this has been another episode of Successful Marketing, Sales, and Relationships for adult small business owners and entrepreneurs, where we teach you fast, focused, financially beneficial marketing at a fair price. So, and until the next time, man, I love you. It has been an honor. Have a great weekend, and don't forget to review. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments and or go over to growingrich.com. Click the Get Started button. That'll get an email from me to you, and we'll set up a time where we'll talk about sales, marketing, emails, profits, losses, all of the above, your people, so that we can then help you meet and exceed the goals that you have for you and your business, so that you are then able to do everything you need to do as a human being for your family. As always, I love you, and I'm out. Ba 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 ba. Ooh.